What's up, y'all? I want to talk to y'all about Numbers 12. It's been on my spirit for some time now, because I just love this passage right here, and it shows how God has our back. And I'm going to give y'all a story later, because I was just sitting there thinking, and the Holy Spirit had to speak to me. To Numbers 12. Numbers 12. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? Haters. There's a little hateration up in there. Well, maybe not even a little. Maybe that's more than a little bit. This is exactly why I said what I said. But maybe was it a month or two ago? About how when you're a hater, how you in essence put your own blockers on. Now Aaron was a high priest. So you have been deemed as a high priest. Yet you just mad at how God using him, but didn't see how God using you, or had used you. In essence the same, but just by a different mode of communication. Man, come on, we got the same job, bro. We got the same job. And even if, you could also say too, what God used Moses for was on a higher level at one time than what a hater might deem as greater than them, even though you've touched the same amount of people, yet at separate times. Right? So, youngsters is all together, it look a little intimidating, or you're mad. When you shouldn't be. So God heard it. And he was not pleased, to say the least. He was not pleased. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. Now you know we got to do definitions now. We got to do definitions. Okay? So we got the dictionary for. So, meek. Meek means quiet, gentle, overly compliant. Overly compliant and submissive. Woo! That's some good stuff. That's good stuff. That's good. That's good. And which is why God could use him how he did and how he chose to. And which is also why he took advice from Moses. When God wanted to kill the Israelites off because they had already been bugging. I'm putting this in my tongue. They had already been acting a fool. Moses was like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because then them people going to say you done brought them this far just to kill them. People going to say that. Don't do that. He's like, you right. God said, you right, you right. You right. So Numbers 12 verse 4. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam. Come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. God said, you know it's bad when you get one of them. Like, I done came down here. You done had me. I done had to come from work. Numbers 12, verse 5. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. 6. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. Right? Verse 7. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. 8. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore, then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? He said, God basically said, I ain't speaking to Moses how I speak to most of y'all. It's by dream and vision, or by some parables. Yet man even perceiveth that not. I speak to him mouth to mouth, which you know, and you had the nerve. You really, you thought it was smart to put your mouth on him? Wow. 9. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. I can show you better than I can tell you. 10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. 11. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. And it's a simple fact that it's like, y'all wasn't even some commoners to that man. Y'all his brother and sister. Like, one could possibly deem, even though it don't make it right still, but you, like, if somebody don't know you, it's like, okay, so for them to say that, like, whatever. Y'all siblings. You, like, you, Aaron, you know what's up. You know what's up. Like, you got a front row seat. That's what hating to do to you. Hating will do that to you. He had a front row seat to how God favored Moses. And now look at you. 12. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. Yet she was just talking junk about me. It's fine. I don't want to see her like this. It hurts me to see her like this, Lord, please. And we got stuff to do. How many of y'all will tell God to stop? Listen. But that was his sister. That was his sister. And they got stuff to do. Little, a couple more days. But he was meek, man. He was meek. That's why God did what he had to do. He was meek. 14. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Ooh. To me, that's the equivalent of a child asking a parent, but why, mom, why? And your mama saying, because I said so. Listen. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not to Miriam was brought in again. And afterward the people removed from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran. And I remember reading that chapter, and I sat there and I was like, well, you know what? I said, no, okay, so God is God. He got the right to do what he wants as he feels and pleases. And God is perfect in all his ways. So, for a moment I sat there and I was just thinking in the room quiet. And I was like, well, he's still God. So, he did what he did. He chose to do what he did, yet he still had the option not to. And I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, well, quiet. I'm like, why did he do that? Why did he do that? Because he ain't really, have to. Because you would think he chewed him up a nut, you know? But then the Holy Spirit came to me. Woo! Boy! The Holy Spirit said, because at that point, it was no longer about Moses. It wasn't no longer about Moses. It was about God. Because God said, if they messing with you, they messing with me. That's why he still did what he did. And I said, oh my God. Woo! Oh, Jesus. My God. That's real. I love that. That's real. That's some real, that's good. And it's crazy because even saying that, it brought me back to high school days, right? And I remember this duo in high school. Honey, you could mess with her without messing with the other one, or if you think you wanted to fight her, the other one was going to fight you. That's her best friend. You're not going to mess with her best friend. And even thinking about that, it makes sense too, because she knows who her best friend is and how her best friend is, and she's going to have her best friend back regardless. Now, how many of y'all are that best friend? Look, I'm not. I need some information, best friend. Because I think it'll be best. I don't want you to go to jail. I don't want you to do this. But I think it'll be best for at least one of us to be out to pay the bail. The bail money. I need some information. Because if you're wrong, a lot of people don't like the self-conviction that the Holy Spirit likes to push on them. So you're not about to have me in that, baby. So best friend, I just need to know what happened before I exert myself or step into this with you. Because I don't want you to do this. Okay? But I put the bail money up. Don't do it though, but you're wrong, friend. You're wrong. Let that go. Let that go. And it also made me think about being a parent. Your child can do wrong too. Your child could be right in everything they're doing. Your child could be a mini you, be a good fighter, and now it don't matter, but you will push your child out the way real fast and be like, not my child. Or who said something? What you say? Yeah, say that to me. Look, and some of y'all will beat the little child up in their mama now. Don't do that, baby. Don't do that. Okay? Don't do that. The equivalent of the same thing. Wow. God, look, God is so dope.